that you need to interrogate. Okay, we hear Americans are pretty good at it. And I was like, wow, these guys are really yeah.
That shit sound like it. It's different. Huh. Yeah. Trap. All we know is trap. Trap. All we know is trap.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Wow.
Now inhale with your nose.
Clear.
Yeah, clear. Yo, this is.
It's very medicinal. That's why when you so
No, but it was so sweet.
when you drink it,
Yeah.
you take like a third of the
Like the first initial, I could taste the honey in the initial.
Yeah,
And then as it hit me, I'm like,
it's not like overbearing. Like if you drink like honey jack, you get kind of a nasty aftertaste.
because that's more of a commercial drink. It's legitimately made in my home. So
Wow.
my father, like 7. It's been brewing in that bottle for 7 years. I crack it open and drink from it, but the bottle's never gone dry, and the roots and the bark, they're like this high up in the bottle. A big Carnerosi bottle. They always say submerged in liquid.
That's
And what you taste there is a bottle of like literal honey from Suffern, New York. That it stayed.
Spartacus special.
yeah. Yo.
Bark stayed in the honey for like a year, and then I started mixing and brewing the booze. Yeah,
So we kind of started this backwards. We have a bad habit of we in the game room and we start talking, and all of a sudden like, yo, we have to we got to come here and talk. We could stay in that room for like another hour just talking. You know, your boy Fumbles here. I got my co-host Hawk Maz, and we have a special guest Sparticus. Thanks for coming with us.
What's going on, guys?
We already started drinking this. I don't know what this was, but this is his home.
It's called so it's Mama Juana. It's my heritage. So I'm a bunch of stuff. I'm Spaniard. Turns out I'm actually also Western African or West African. Yeah, and my mom and dad are from the Caribbean.
It's funny.
That's a Caribbean drink right there.
I'm actually part Irish. Last name George and stuff. Yeah, I know. I know. I'm actually part Irish. We did. So we went and did my mom. You know, she went to ancestry and stuff. We already knew it was part Irish. So the name George, apparently somebody from our great grandfather came from Ireland.
Yeah.
Ended up in Georgia somehow. Of all places, ended up in Georgia. Married. Married woman down there, and then ex-slave.
Might have been like a military man or something.
No, I don't know. They come to New York. So the fact they ended up in Georgia was kind of weird. But he ended up in Georgia. Grandpa Golden. And we have a family cemetery that my family started back in the 1800s. So we go there. My great grandmother's buried there. My grandmother's there. There's most of my family's buried there, and he's there, Grandpa Golden, and that's where the name came from. The story behind it.
That's crazy.
Dope, bro.
Ancestry. I did the same thing, and man.
I did the ancestry.
Yeah.
I've been skeptical of it. I have never. I've been thinking about it because I want to know my background. And
So,
stuff
I mean,
like that,
as humans, you always want to know where you come from because that helps you go forward.
Exactly.
No, that's
Like,
right.
I don't remember my mom. My mom was very light, and people was like, "Well, that's because of that." And my mom's side of the family, our trace go all the way back to slavery, and the first slave ships come over. My father's a little bit mixed, all over the place and stuff. But you'd be shocked, like what you said, where you came from, and then you're like, "Yo," and it's like, sometimes I wonder how can racism be such a big issue where everybody's mixed with something, 9 to 10.
No one is 100%
pure.
Anything.
At this point,
But at this point, it's too far.
You'll look at me, and if you see my stepdad, who's my dad, he raised me from when I was a little kid. He's got Haitian blood. He's Dominican. If you see my mom's your skin color. We call it Indian color.
Yeah,
in Dominican. We call it Indio. So I did my ancestry, and I for my entire life was told you're Italian. That's where you get your last name, Canelo, and Spaniard. Not even a percentage of Italy was found in my blood.
Wow.
What was found in my blood was north of 50% belonged to the Spaniard and Portuguese part of Europe. So 50-something% is that part of Europe, Spaniard. But it's from the Mediterranean part because it was talking about Barcelona and Madrid. Yeah. And then like 38% was from all the countries that made up Western Africa.
Oh, wow.
And then when I look back at the history, there was a part of the Roman Empire that only was in Africa, and that generation of the Roman Empire never left Africa, and they
stayed.
And they were called the Roman Africanus. They were still the hierarchy in Rome and the Roman Empire, but they ruled for Rome in Africa. And so that's where the Moors and all that. That's where all that comes from.
Wow.
So you have the southern part of Spain. What people don't realize is the Moors controlled the southern part of Spain for centuries, not for decades, for like 200 years. And for some reason, you find people with Moors background with my last name in the middle of America as early as the 1700s. And I was like, wait a second. I thought, okay, I'm Italian. I might just, maybe go back to the Renaissance. I didn't realize it might go back further. I mean, 1700s in the United States is not even,
the United States.
Not even the United States yet. What do you mean I have people that you found? And I was like, yeah, two Canelos landed here and here within like 100 miles of each other in the center of America before America even declared itself independent. And I was like, wow. So
that's beautiful.
I feel like I'm getting history like that. Because me, so my dad's side of the family, right? You asked where they from. Oh, we're from Africa.
Yeah,
that's not nothing. And
that's such a
vague statement. Yeah, turn it on.
That's such a vague. So much like there's two places on earth I've always said I want to go.
I got it.
Japan.
Yeah.
And Africa. But Africa comes first because come on, man.
I want to go to Africa, and I say this to everybody when they ask me because my name is African, and that's where you know Zeke Lewis. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
I can never pronounce your last name properly. So we went to high school together. So we went to high school together. So 2005, I pronounced his name wrong for the whole 4 years.
Everybody, bro.
And I was like, he's like, you pronouncing it wrong, but cool, it's whatever.
Call me Maz, bro.
God said Mars for short. Just make.
Well, that's interesting how the Western world, our names, our language is completely different than the Eastern world. Like the languages spoken in Africa.
Yeah, there's like over 100 or like 1,000 languages.
It's like it's insane the amount of languages spoken there. The tribes, just the dialects, the culture.
My uncle went to Africa, and he was really big Black Power and stuff like that. And he's like, he believe in ancestors and stuff. There's nothing wrong with that. And we go to his apartment, he has all these African artifacts and stuff that he said he acquired. And I'm like, you acquired? Or you're not allowed to go back? He's like, you're not allowed to go back to Africa. He got African spears, African this, it's nice.
Priceless.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. My mom, she decided to go back, and that's when we found out about the whole, Stewart thing and the whole Irish thing. I'm curious about my dad's side. My dad's side is more Indian, like American Indian. No one knows how that happened, but that's how that happened. So, like you said, it's just interesting knowing where your roots came from.
That would be interesting. The Native American side, because there's a lot. So, with the Native American cultures, a lot of their cultures were preserved through word of mouth. With Native Americans, a lot of the singing and all the folk tailing, that was them preserving history.
Yeah. That's how they preserve the history.
Yeah.
Little subject. Anybody want a drink? I know you have your coffee. I know you want anything else. Do you want a drink?
I'll take a beer.
I got this new drink that I found that I can make called Green Dynasties. If you're talking about dynasties and history and stuff, you could try. You could be the test subject.
Let's do it, man.
All right. So I know we're way off subject of airsoft, but
we'll make our way around too.
Yeah, we get around to it.
We'll bring it back into the airsoft subject because I know you guys are interested in talking about the APL and also international airsoft play. I'm a huge fan of international airsoft play.
We actually me and Maz actually had a good event that we was thinking about when we was talking about it. So it was like, picture PUBG and airsoft. Like a battle royale style of airsoft. We seen this. There was this video by Dude Perfect, and they did something similar. They put guns random spots. One dude found a musket, and literally the other dude found a sniper rifle, and they had it was cool. I know Swamp Sniper there was a thing that they were supposed to be doing on an island. I don't know what happened with it, but I just picture something like that with different vendors and stuff, and like a battle royale style match. It don't have to be a big field, because something decent, it would probably be cool.
Yeah. It's all about just getting everybody together and just putting together an idea that becomes an event. Mm-hmm. Like I just recently helped put together an event for Speedsoft at Ricochet Tactical called the Beast Coast Open.
Yeah.
And it turned out to be good. It turned out to be actually a really fun event.
That was run by
Insomnia.
Insomnia. Okay.
Insomnia ran it.
Yeah, where the BB was telling me about it. I was going to do it, but just my job.
Yeah, it was a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday gig just because the weekend. We're like, all right, it's getting close when school's starting for everybody. Let's give them something towards the end of the summer, in the middle of the week of August, at the end, to say, okay, you know what, we're gonna do one more airsoft thing. And it was a great turnout. It was really awesome. We had 8 teams turn out.
Yeah, Shaq told me it was a good turnout.
And then the next 2 days, what we did is the first day we held the tournament, and then the next 2 days we had open play with themes, you know, and then you know. They had a great idea. If you want to call the teams out, you can call the teams out and then do it those 2 days of open play. And it was great. You know, we had giveaways and merchandise and patches and parts for pistols that were being sold. The Real Deal was doing his thing, selling his parts, dropping his knowledge. Everybody was there.
One thing I like about the Real Deal is that he showed you the interworkings of it and the fact that he makes his own parts. A lot of people show you that make their own part. People just tell you this is how you fix it and stuff like that.
They use other people's parts.
Yeah.
And say this part is superior. Like I have this, but this is superior. Like he's like Spartacus. This lube is the best lubrication for any rifle out there, and it was the Insidious Armory lube. It wasn't even him pushing or peddling his own. And I start using it, and I'm like, oh, what? I'm like, yes, okay, great. You got anything else? Like when you play this sport of airsoft, to judge is literally not to be able to get better. And I'm almost in it for 20 years, and I can tell you right now, I can comfortably say every time I show up in the field, I'm in the top 5%, 10% of just being better for one reason. I'm gonna go up to you and be like, hey dude, that was awesome what you just did. You caught me by surprise. What'd you do?
Yeah, okay.
Like, what'd you do? Like, I wanna know what you did so that I can know I'm weak. And that man or that girl, because let me tell you, it doesn't matter who you are. I've been gotten the drop on, and I go right up to you. I'm like, bro, sister, you gotta tell me, man, what'd you do? Like I played against Insomnia during the Beast Coast Open, and Mickey's wife caught me off guard. Snoring caught my eye, went across. And this is with my crazy built out MP5 that everybody's seen online with Real Deal. Now this MP5 has a full titanium gearbox housing.
Titanium?
So that nothing ever happens to my gearbox. The P-Run MOSFET that everybody knows now that's front run is because I had Real Deal request, hey, you guys don't have a front run. You want to do one for the Spartacus rifle? He called him. He was like, listen, Spartacus has an MP5, but he wants the battery and everything in the front. Dude.
Sorry, making a lot of noise.
No worries. I was running with that, and she catches me. Like, I get Noren's attention, and I'm like, yeah. All of a sudden, I'm like, whoa. I'm like, sister, that was awesome. I was like, my peripheral went this way, and it just got lit up. I was like, what'd you do? And that's what they told me. I was like, listen, Noren did a button hook right to you and broke right. And you went for it. I'm like, yeah, I did. It was like a little fish. I was like, whoa. And then but I wouldn't have known that had I not sponsored the venue for Speedsoft event. And here I am finding out from players that are almost half my age in their 20s. And I'm like, okay, cool. That's cool, man. Like, they use the football play. Because that's Speedsoft. Speedsoft is basically quarterbacking. Yo, button hook right, Noren. But like I was listening to guys like ODB saying covering 3 lanes, go left. Yo, people need to go out there and like experience airsoft, because there's some people out there that are just transcending and just bringing it to another level.
One thing I like about the airsoft, there's not much hate as you would thought it would be.
No, there isn't.
Compared to like
other sports.
Like we was talking about paintball, and talk about how there's 2 separate games. There's air Speedsofters and regular MagFed. Sorry, I had to put it. Yeah, and it actually looks like the picture, so I'm good.
What's this called? What's the name of it?
Green Dynasty.
Green Dynasty.
Let's see. Probably I could make it a little more stronger, but
no, it's solid.
It's solid?
It's solid as a creeper.
Got any bourbon or any whiskey?
Yo, yeah, of course.
I'll take some Jim Beam in the coffee.
Okay, Jim Beam in the coffee.
A little Irish coffee.
We know what.
Perfect.
Nice. Yep. So this is called Airsoft and Drinks, like y'all can see. So we drink and pretty much.
Chop it up about it.
Yeah, or whatever else comes to our mind. Like we was doing the history lesson. So you did the Beast Coast Open.
Yeah.
You did it with Samia and Ricochet. What would be something that what would be your dream event?
All right. So full disclosure for your. Well, you know what? Because I'll say it on your show. People know this kind of idea belongs to me.
Yeah.
So
mind you, this belongs to Spartacus.
yeah,
Nobody steals it.
This idea belongs to me. It's
I'm gonna put a link right here that says Spartacus.
Yeah, it's called the Gladiator Games. Now, everything is a part of it. It's scalability. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is I've reached out to field owners and I want a faster response from them because I know when I say this that someone will bite and say, "Oh, no, we need to reach out to Spartacus." If you're out there, I'm also a kind of player where there are actual players out there that in their Instagrams and their Facebook and their TikTok DMs, I've reached out to them and said, "Hey, I heard you had a great idea, you couldn't afford it, or you don't have the resources." Well, Spartacus is doing a different approach, and that's what I want. Like, one of my approach is to create an event that's scalable, that I can say, "Hey, this event is CrossFit meets tactical shooting, like the tactical games, meets Airsoft." And this is the part where everybody's like, "Oh, okay, listen, everybody knows the gas blowback platform, so it's going to limit you if you don't have a gas blowback. However, my idea is to do competition shooting that requires physicality, where there's two spikes in the ground, you run up 20 yards, there's a rope, and the rope's connected to a dummy 50 yards away, and there's targets on the side. And the targets are labeled 1 or 2. 1 for your primary, 2 for your secondary. You gotta run to the spikes, get on the ground, start pulling, and once the dummy gets past that, you see his primary, 1, 1, 1, 1, flip, boom, pull, 2, flip, get pulling, like physicality like that. Where it's like, listen, you can make fun of Airsoft as much as you want, but when you see athletes using Airsoft like that, you now have to stay quiet and watch. Because this is an athletic thing. All it is we're not shooting real BBs. We're not shooting real bullets. We're shooting BBs.
They actually have some. I saw a video where the guy, they were doing the running outside, shoot. How about they were doing physical? And this would kill this thing because how many people players that always say, "Oh, I'm the beast," but they know that they go from here to here, they're passing out. Like paintballs full of them. There's very few of them that actually are about that life. But some of them are just like, "Oh, I'm just going to shoot back and just hit you with 200 paintballs until it's been like this." Really, you spend $500 on paintballs alone just to dump on you.
Well, I also think because Airsoft has been such a stigmatized sport because it's connected to real steel. Because obviously we mimic and imitate and replicate the real steel world. So in our culture, people like Lucas Bakkens with T-Rex arms, they're going to events saying if you ignore Airsoft as a tool for real steel guns, for the Second Amendment, for that, then you're ignoring the fact that this is a cheaper tool than simunitions or using rounds that allows you to do topographical movement, that allows you to read squad movement, that allows you to understand recon and surveillance, that allows you how to move around. I've almost been playing this sport for 20 years, and last night, my wife was with my daughter. My daughter was using the potty, and I was trying to go get my son before my son would get woken up by my daughter. I literally got out of my bed and ran past my wife, opened the door. She barked at me. She said, "Jesus Christ." I was like, "What?" I didn't even hear you until I saw you opening the door. And I go, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to." But that's what I'm saying. It's like, I'm not tuning my horn. What I'm saying is I've had so much practice. It's almost 20 years. Like, I paid for courses by DevGru, Delta, GSG9 guys. Like, I'm saying the minute I saw that guy or that individual was applying a course for Airsoft, I said, "Take my money, I want to learn. Only because the only thing that's different
is real life meme.
Like, take my money, I want to learn. Like, here, like, I want to learn how to creep. Like, what I like to call, if you ever play outdoors with me, and I go, "Hey, do you want to go do some sneaky? Like if I go, you want to do some sneak. Real deal is like, oh, if he says that to you, your mind's about to be blown. Like this sport, the only thing it doesn't do is it doesn't let you die.
No.
Yeah.
That's it.
I was telling somebody at my job, I was like, why you do that? I was like, because I can shoot somebody and not go to jail.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
You can shoot some people and not worry about any.
Like, oh, now I gotta go on a run. And it's like, you know what's funny? So when you said that, there was a video with I forgot the name of the video. It was the champion from Japan. You know, real firearms ain't legal over there. And then you saw the video.
That's aimbot 2.0. Yeah, I seen that video.
He came over to the United States. They said that all the dry fire he did with airsoft transferred over to real steel. He was up there shooting with special forces dudes, and the special forces dudes. And he was like, special forces dudes were like, they would never believe this guy never touched a gun before. He never.
He was holstering his pistol, a real Glock, not even looking down. He was just like, boom. But it's the muscle memory, man.
And then the guy was saying it transfers over. Mind you, the recoil is different. So it took him a little bit while to get used to it. But once he got used to the recoil, he was shooting and out shooting.
Well, a lot of people don't realize is that I don't want to butcher his name. I actually follow him on Instagram. My man trains. He just because he was with Lucas Balkins and T-Rex on, he hasn't stopped. Wow. I follow him on Instagram till today. He put up training video. What's this? He put up training video, a barricade training video of using a gas blowback rifle. Yeah. So I have a gas blowback platform. Yes, you don't have the same ricochet. You don't have the same recoil. However, and I'm about to trigger a lot of people.
Trigger warning, everybody. Trigger warning.
You got rifle companies like the GBLR. Is that the GBLR? Yeah. Another trigger warning. My rifle has more ricochet than that rifle does. Trigger warning. Real Deal has called you guys out and said, "Hey, send me a GBLR so I can compare it to Spartacus's LM4 PTR that has a shoot happy airsoft internals and it also has a bunch of nice things internally that literally, as I shoot, and you guys have seen my footage, I don't have to look. I never look to see if my chamber, if my charging handle was racked back and it locked back and my chamber's open. I already know because I felt that last kick that the buffer tube allows me to feel when it locks and there's no more rounds in there and they say, hey, I need to reload. Because you automatically hear the audio go poop, 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 and then you just see me backing up as I reload and I'm like, okay. Well, that's the benefit of airsoft gas blowback rifle, especially like the one that I run where it's like, I felt that. Okay, I felt that. And that might not be the recoil that you get. And the first time I ever fired a real rifle was a full auto 8K taken off of someone who didn't need it anymore in Afghanistan, and it was a SEAL team member who was teaching us how to fire. And I didn't know how to fire anything. I'm a New York City kid. Yeah. I was raised in the projects, but I was dead afraid of guns.
We were raised in the projects to run. Yes. Not to, I want to see a gun.
No, man. I went click. The guy's like, okay, go ahead. Bang, bang, bang. He's like, come on, man. I want to hear another click up. I was like, okay. Big ass Navy SEAL just puts his hand on my back. I already knew. I was like 25, 24 years old. I was like, okay, this is definitely going to be a rock and roll show. I rolled the whole thing up. And I was like, holy can I curse? Yeah. Holy shit. That's what it's like to shoot a gun? Hooked. 24, 25 years old, first time I ever shot it, hooked. The next day, another SEAL teaches me how to be prone on the ground and hit a balloon from 50 yards away, outside, waving in the air. And it was the first round, the first shot, and I was like, wow.
So you did with weight and everything.
That first day I ever shot a rifle, I was like, holy shit, I'm hooked. This is amazing. The second day I shot a rifle with precision, I was hooked to something really important, the proper teaching and learning.
One thing about airsoft, I just moved here. A lot of people know that. So me and my wife, I was like, you know what? I want to get a gun. I went to the store. The guy that was selling me different guns actually was an airsofter. So we're there kicking bullshit and whatever. He was like, I said, listen, I don't know shit about real guns. I know a little bit, but not enough. I know when I hear them, depending where I'm at, it's depending if I got to run or whatever. So he was like, listen, a lot of people with airsoft think, okay, I play airsoft, I know how to use a real gun. Yes and no. Yeah. You know the movement, you know the holstering and stuff like that, but the recoil is a little bit more, and a real gun is real life, like real life laws
and jail and
real life law. Like if you shoot a gun, if you can really kill somebody. It's not like airsoft.
You discharge around. There's paperwork and people that are gonna want to ask you what happened.
Like, it's like, for instance, I put out a gun and I blast y'all. All that's gonna happen is I'm gonna get my ass whooped. That's it. Not like, oh, now I got bodies to hide. I'm just gonna get my ass whooped and that's it. Maybe my camera stolen or whatever, make up but that's it. Nothing really serious. But a lot of people now on the flip side, you got people like, oh, it's not real and stuff like that. You just shooting toys and stuff. Listen, airsoft is toys. We're having fun.
Yes.
Like you said, you come. Like you remember the story you said. You come to get shot. You all play airsoft to come to get shot.
You know, just kids, man.
Yeah, but
living out some dream.
You do get movement. You do learn how to gun safety. Because the best, I taught my stepdaughter. She first time playing airsoft. She actually got blasted by the person with the grenade launcher, and he posted footage of. I don't want to say his name, but. You probably know he always walks around with grenade launchers, right? And I told the story last time. But so I first time I took my daughter out, right? Brought her own gear. You know, before I brought her own gear, she's out. He sent me the video. She's in the corner hiding. He pulls out the hand, and she hits the floor and drops.
He called me once at that field, and he tried to throw his fucking chicken at me. I smacked that shit. I was like, get that shit out of here! You're not catching that shit on film. Throwing a fucking chicken at me. I said, you got me, but you ain't throwing a chicken at me though. I'll tell you what though, he's really original.
No, he's really original. One thing I also like about it, he did it. And then he came and apologized. And he went in to make sure they're good. And I'm like, listen, they're fine. We came to get you.
This is all about it. Yeah.
No, you gun butted her. I'm like,
you shot her.
Yeah, it was a distance. It was like
This was fun like that. But that's the thing. Like the fact that he has to apologize isn't cool.
No,
like, he should be out there. He puts out amazing stuff.
Yes,
and he's respectful and he waits. But if you shit on him, you're gonna get rocked because that's the king.
Yeah,
that's the king.
One day when I first met him, I didn't know nothing about him. I didn't know anything. I just knew that people said that he was the dude. First played against him a couple of times, got to know him a little bit. So the more and more I got to know him, the more I started realizing, okay, maybe some of the stuff I'm hearing is just BS.
It's just hate.
We did the shooting competition, got to know him a lot better. It's cool. I actually brought my Vector off of him. He gave me, the deal that he gave me was sweet.
Nice.
Got my Vector off of him, played him more. And I'm like, you know what? This made me start realizing that, especially after I did HVA, people that complain is people that just can't deal with it.
Yeah.
When people can dish it, but they can't take it back. Yeah. It's like, listen, we're playing. You got me? Listen, it's clean hit. You got me. I won't respect it. I'm gonna walk. But if I get you, respect it too. It's just like we were playing before. I was playing before. You do a sniper. You get somebody from a sick distance or something, a credible shot, and they're not calling it. You get pissed off. It's like, yo, dude, I did something incredible. At least call it.
Show that respect.
Yeah, but I see, especially it's also I think airsoft is also better with the age. You got some kids that respect it, don't play. They got some kids that just don't know. They shouldn't be playing airsoft. Yeah. I feel like airsoft should be like kind of an age limit to a certain degree because maturity-wise, you got some people that just, even with adults, some adults just take their anger and just let it go beyond.
Yeah. That's what I think ruins it for the kids, you know what I'm saying? Because they see, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. They see the adults how they act, you know what I'm saying? And then it's like, it trickles down, it has that trickle down effect. Next time the kid comes out, now he's coming out like, yeah, I'm doing like what that guy was doing, you know?
The way we ran the Beast Coast Open, because you're not going to find a lot of footage of it because it was so busy. It's guys like ODB from Insomnia, and ODB has his own kind of brand. We literally all got together and we said, okay, the only way we're going to stop the toxicity is when we open the door. I have history of running baseball camps. I was a college athlete, tried to be pro athlete. So the whole thing of doing camps and working with a whole bunch of different kinds of walks of life, I've been a champion a lot, and I'm grateful. But I also understand what it means to have champion-like mentality, where you want to make sure that when you champion for your sport, is you want to make sure your sport progresses without that intoxicating behavior that always comes out.
Exactly.
People who just don't know what being champions are about. And what that means is, when you want to champion a sport, champion for a sport is, you literally have to act like someone's watching you all the time and do the right thing, especially in a sport where you get hit with a plastic BB that's 6 millimeters, and you have to be an honest person and say, hit,
Call it.
Yeah,
or
honestly,
play out, bleeding out and be the melodramatic person who makes the person looks good and feel good that he got you.
Yeah.
Like when that one crucial round in the APL, I got hit. I missed him. He paused and was like, "Holy shit, I missed him." That he missed me, and then he sent 2 more rounds at me, and for a second I felt it. I was like, "Oh man, I missed him. Damn it, I missed him." He got me. I felt it, and I was just like, "Oh," and I just felt, and all of a sudden I just felt the drum go, vroom, and I was like, "That's fucking awesome." That was awesome.
That was awesome.
It would have never happened had I never been self-sacrificing for the sport. Yeah, did Spartacus want to rock and roll, get that corner angle, turn around, turn my LM4 on everybody, and just start rocking and rolling, looking like Lucas Bockins and Austin and Airsoft, and just going, corner movement. Yes, but I didn't. I got hit. I missed the guy, and then I got hit, and then I played it out. And that's Airsoft.
Yeah.
That's Airsoft. That's Airsoft. I've been in Europe. So, Berget. Sofia or Sundsvall, the Sundsvall Valley in Sweden. You fly 8 hours to Sweden to Stockholm, and then you drive 8 hours north.
Yeah.
And I drove 8 hours north with a bunch of guys, and they were specifically either no more commissioned and now they're doing their regular civilian life, or they're still commissioned rangers for their countries. We had Sweden, Norway, Finland, Russia, Switzerland. The only guys that weren't military were the 2 guys that came from America, me and Farrell. What's up, Farrell? And we joined these guys, and let me tell you what we did, man. I'll walk you through that. The first 33 hours of a 60-plus hour milsim, we were outside of the wire. We were outside the wire.
You said 60 hours?
60-plus hours of a 4-plus day milsim. And it was only because day 1, party. Eat, drink, party, have fun. Day 2, the milsim begins. Day 3, day 4, day 5. Those are the days of the milsim. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the next day, day 6, everything closes down. A full-on battlefield battle engulfs. And then at the end of that, at the end of day 6 is the party. So that's technically day 6 into day 7. It's a 7-day event. So if you do forget, you got to clear out like 8 days in your schedule. But it's worth it because it's nearly 2,000 people. And when I was in there, we did a total of 50-plus miles, pumping 50-plus miles, hitting targets. So we're hitting targets. And let me tell you, when people want to shit on Airsoft, I'm going to take a drink of coffee. I'm going to tell you exactly what I did and why I walk around with a chip on my shoulders, knowing if the shit hits the fan, I'll rub it on my face and just lay on the ground and fucking camouflage in it like Arnold did with the Predator and be like,
come on!
Come on! You ugly son of a bitch. I'm ready. Like, that's what Airsoft does. It doesn't build character, bro. It reveals it.
Yeah.
Character is built at home. Built at home.
I agree with that.
Character's built at home. Airsoft, when you're in this shit, man.
I'm going to take a quick break and say that, so this whole segment, what we're doing, it ain't gonna be like a professional, like we know, we're gonna have camera setup, stuff like that. We're gonna be bullshitting, you're gonna see me replacing film and stuff like that, because I have decent sized cameras. I know we have a cameraman, so it's just me doing everything. And don't pay no attention to me. This isn't everybody. Don't pay no attention to me. Don't listen to me if I go off here, go off camera, because I gotta get stuff, because I'm forgetful. Like I forgot ice. I had to go get ice. So
this is a great idea. This is a great setup. I mean, this is they say business ideas and monster ideas happen at the bar or at the golf course.
No, it's really funny. So, real quick story. How this whole segment started, I call Maz. He comes over. We're supposed to just talk about the APL and his experience with it. And then all of a sudden, we finished that video. I didn't even finish editing that video yet. Yeah. I didn't finish. So then we here for another like 30 minutes to like an hour just talking about stories. And I'm like, hold up, I should just get the camera running. So I want to get the camera running. And I'm using my phone. I have my phone camera on this mount on a box and a TV, on a box and in the table. And I'm just recording. And I was just like, yo, this is actually not a bad idea. And I was like, yeah. So I was like, yo, why don't we just do this? And he's like, yeah, that's I recorded it. I did the intro, and
that's how episode 1 came.
Episode 1 aired out, it literally caught my attention. You guys reached out to me like 2 or 3 days later. And I was like, yeah, I'm in the midst of watching it actually. Like halfway through it. I'd love to do that. Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's like, So it was like that one. It was funny. I go ahead. So a little background story. My whole channel started 8 years ago, with car videos. I used to go to car meets, go to visit with people, stuff like that. I actually know a lot of people. Shout out to Sin Mundo. Shout out to Monday Night Madness. I know a lot of people in the car world. That's why I was really into street racing and stuff. I had a kid, life changed. Yeah. Then I started doing gaming videos, which my gaming videos sucked. I got into Airsoft. When I moved, I got married and moved here, I was like, you know what? Let me just take a break for actually playing. Let me do interviews. I like doing something like this. Call a couple people. A lot of people was like, you know, who am I? I'm just somebody, just random person. They know me as Fumbles. Everybody knows me. I'm the tall guy that, clones and stuff like that. Task Force, shout out to Task Force podcast. I met them at a Grimmail Tactical event, and the only reason they know me because I'm the tallest person there. This just came about, everything was just nice and cool. I'm like, you know what? This is a nice setting. People come, chill, drink, we talk about whatever. And whatever makes it into the final cut, Screw it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's a nice little setup and stuff. I said, it's just, working on the camera setup, not trying to spend too much money so my wife don't kill me. Because, I still like to live to see. Yeah.
This is a great idea. It's an original idea. It's just, it'll evolve over time.
Yeah, exactly.
You started, and that's great.
Yeah. So like you were saying, you was like the whole Arnold come on and stuff like that. It's like my experience with Airsoft, I see, it's like there's 2 type of groups or 3 groups. There's people that take it too serious, people that don't take it serious enough, the kids that get upset and stuff, and there's people that's exactly where they need to be. Yeah. So either you're extremist, not enough, or you're exactly where you need to be. Yeah. Me personally, I dealt with a lot of extremists when it came to paintball or airsoft. I got into plenty of arguments. I almost got into a physical fight over extremists till I realized I'm about to fight over something we're supposed to have fun in. Yeah. So why am I going to sit here and get physical with somebody I'm supposed to have fun in? But one thing I do like about it, everybody's community for Airsoft is way stronger than paintball could ever be, and way stronger than I thought it could be. You said like we said APL, y'all made connections with people that y'all still got connections today.
I can't even count how many.
Yeah.
I can't even count how many.
And
it was just amazing.
I met people. Now, mind you, when I went to Grimmail Tactical and I shot Radio Silence, people see my videos that I didn't know was there, and people that was like, yo.
That was awesome.
I was awesome. Like, yo, we should have come to this kind of event. I met Call Sign Dad over at Grimmail Tactical. I don't remember even really seeing him, but we fought on opposite sides, and the footage and stuff like that. It was to the point like, yo, we met up, we started talking, and he was like, all right, so it was like, hopefully soon I get to play with him. I actually know that he's there, but a lot of people you get to meet. And he's just like, yo, it's crazy. Look at Grimmail Tactical. They just started their Milsim event. The second Milsim event had Jet Desert Fox there. Like, come on. Like, how it's like you having a basketball tournament, and the second tournament you won, you have Michael Jordan there.
Yeah. and they're onto some stuff. Like, they're onto some stuff.
The one thing they did,
they're young, they're new, but the fact is that that's a big group of people. Who are committed to doing this.
Yeah.
Like if you see how many people are involved with Grimmail Tactical, you're looking at it and you're like, okay. Because the thing is, the industry standard was to wait for the industry to do stuff.
Exactly.
Not anymore. That's where the APL came in right in time, that the industry standard flipped.
Yeah, it shifted.
Where now we're tired. Like, I got tired. And Insomnia came in, and SPARTICUS, we'd love to do this event. Do you want to jump in as a sponsor? And I said, okay, put down everything that you need for this event to happen. All right. And then at some point I said, okay, how about if somebody takes care of all of that? Mm-hmm. And they're like, what? And I'm like, yes. I'm tired of watching companies who are able to do it, but because they can't maximize their profit or even make a profit at all, they say no. Well,
yeah.
What about going back to your roots as the best marketing is the people who say, holy shit, that's a solid person. Go there. That's like word of mouth in this sport.
It means a lot.
Is the only thing you should focus on. Like, I have not been on Instagram or YouTube or Facebook or any of that in a minute. But I can tell you right now, all those big major players that are influencers, there's only a few of them that I call influencers because they're bringing out product. Yeah? Is their product, like, for example, does their product cost money? Yeah, man, but you gotta understand where their product comes from. From people like for example, Dark Milsim 6.
Yes.
Or what is it, Dark 6? I forget their name. It used to be part of GMR with Paul and all them, mm-hmm. and they learned a lot, they built a lot. Like, I was around when GMR started, and these are guys who took gear that was real world gear, opened up a sewing machine, took it down, looked at what worked, what didn't work for real steel translation into airsoft, and built airsoft rigs. And yeah, some of them were $200, $300, but the thing is, you had guys who put hours of training behind the configuration of that.
It's like
that's what airsoft does.
It's like made by airsofters for airsofters.
That's everyone's slogan now. So made by airsofters for airsofters has to now be an airsoft industry standard.
I wish the automotive industry was like that, because I'm a mechanic by trade.
Come up with, now you came up with a show that was made by airsofters for airsofters.
Yes, and that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to show the real aspect. Like, I didn't want to have, okay, you say I did this, I said that this, I interview you, I ask questions and stuff. I want to have a legit conversation. That's why I said I wish it come to automotive, because real mechanics know out there, engineers are jerks. Like, they put stuff in places that us mechanics can get to. They have a starter in a freaking transmission for Christ's sake. And for you to do a starter, now you gotta drop a transmission, so now a $200 job became a $2,000 job. Like, it's crazy. But what I'm seeing, like, for instance, I see the Real Deal does. He breaks it down, shows the faults, fix it, and then he has products that are better than the problem.
Yeah.
Like, he breaks it down.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, buy my product. Why? Because it's good.
Yeah.
Give me money. Yeah, give me money. Like,
it shows you, I'm gonna put this in here and show you how it works.
And then show the performance.
I had my gas blowback rifle and pistols and all that for years, and I was scared shit to do anything mechanically to them. I met Real Deal. He's like, no, what are you talking about? He was, dude, you move like, whoa, you really telling me that you're afraid? Yeah. Almost 20 years in this morning, I was afraid of opening up my very expensive rifle. I didn't want to turn around on my wife and be like, sweetheart, you know that $200 rifle that I got from my friend, but that I said it could be worth a lot more if I worked on it? Well, it's not worth anything anymore because now the fucking body's cracked. You know, first off, if you play airsoft, get your information from valid people. There are people out there that say this shit that they shouldn't even be out there telling you. Now, if you go to people like Real Deal, Ricochet, Name's Nico, Kicking Mustang, people who are going to be telling you the truth, hey, they literally say that their systems aren't the best out there, but they're pretty damn good.
Exactly. And one thing I like about, let's say, Kicking Mustang, I'm a big fan of his. Big fan of Kicking Mustang, big head of Swap Sniper. I'm actually more of a fan of Kicking Mustang and Novridge. I'm a super fan of Novridge. I'm a fanboy of Novridge. Call me or call me.
Likewise, I'm a super fan of Novridge too.
Yeah.
People are like, oh yeah. Don't hate on the man that he changed the sport.
Yeah, when he first came out, when I first started getting into airsoft, well, first it started with paintball. Hidden Hedgehog, biggest fan.
Yeah, he's as good.
And then when he quit paintball and went more to airsoft, I started watching Novridge.
He's got some serious long distance.
Yeah, yo, but paintball, and his guns are custom made. He don't walk around. He don't run around.
His footage, he'll walk you through.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, he'll walk you through. He's like, okay, he'll write shit. Like I've seen footage of him writing shit down. The guy pops out like crazy distance.
Now, mind paintball,
like, man, that's a skill, man.
Paintball not meant to go really far, so he uses first strikes. His gun, he don't use expensive gear. No. He show you the gear. His gun is a custom gun that he built with $200. If you spend $200 for the gun, it's ridiculous. Like, that's too much. He has a $500 gun, a $1,000 gun that he don't use.
Yeah. This is his baby.
Yeah, and it's a bolt action sniper rifle, and his specialty is getting shots that are amazing.
Get a shot.
Novridge, same thing with sniper. Novridge actually is ex-military.
Yeah, he's former sniper for Vietnam.
Yeah,
and in Austria.
Exactly. And when he made his own guns, I was like, he actually has to know what he's talking about. Now, don't get me wrong. Sometimes people just go for the cash grab, do something cheap, and get the money, as I hear Soulja Boy did. I don't want to say that too loud. But but that's electronics. That's another show. But he made guns to work. So when he first sold the SSP-1, I was on it. I pre-ordered it. I waited 4 months for that gun. I was like, I can't wait. I got it, copped it back. That gun was literally shoots like a freaking rock. It's like a sniper pistol. Granted, the first time I had the chance, I ended up shooting. So we went to Liberty. Rear gear. I wear with Deadline Force at the time, when I was a big part of Deadline Force. We went to Liberty. Fight for New York, Liberty Paintball. First game, we had a lot of people. I went to my DMR. Now, mind you, I'm 6'5". I'm in the woods. It takes me 2 minutes to get over a log. I'm out of shape and everything. So I'm itching to use my SSP-1. I had So I'm like a juggernaut. I had my DMR on one side, I had my SSP1 here, I had my Desert Eagle on this arm, and I had my BBQ on this line. I don't know all these guns for no reason. Hop over the line, and I hear a noise, and I'm just itching like I want to use SSP1. I see somebody come around the bushes. Dude was on my team. Lit him up. Dude was on my team. And it's in the video. The video I posted is in the video. He's like, "Oh, dick, I want the same team." I lit him up so badly that I felt bad. Like he hits the he's mad at me, and I feel like this. I'm like, I just keep walking. I'm known for shooting my own teammates. In case you don't know that, that's why they call me Fumbles. I'm just like, first time me playing air paintball, I shot somebody in the ass with my pistol, and the dude was bent over, and it's like it was exposed like this much. And I'm on the hill and I aimed down like this and I shot him. So the same game, we're playing against rentals. So you know rentals, and I can call it shots. I pull out the SSP1, the distance and the accuracy is amazing. The only thing about that gun that I feel like that was really messed up, the gun is too strong for its own good, where you use CO2. So I end up, what happened? I ended up doing an upgrade to a short stroke kit. If you don't know what you're doing or how to put it back properly, the gun would break itself.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. The gun ended up breaking itself. Screw it. The gun ended up breaking itself, and I made the short stroke working good. And me just shooting it back, it cracked the plastic receiver housing inside of it. So now I have to wait for the parts to come, and then I realized that I messed up. I thought the gun messed up with me. I messed up the way I did the installation. Once I put it together, gun runs like a dream. When I did the shooting competition, the gun wasn't really good for a shooting competition. I gotta admit that. And the only reason why I say it was good for shooting competition because CO2 is good, but I feel like that gives too much kick. And since I never dialed it in,
especially.
I don't really use that gun. That gun is strictly for outdoors. So when I try to use it, I wasn't getting the performance I got out of it. Believe it or not, the best performance gun I got was with my PPQ. But I didn't have it because it got broken, so I was using my Glock. This I sold to my cousin. And the Glock, I'm not a Glock fan. I became...
Glock's great, right?
The Glock
Glock's great, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Good old faithful, bro.
Listen, I've almost played the sport for 2 decades, like I said. My 19X that I have right now is the first Glock I ever had. I'm not going back.
Okay.
I mean, I have footage where I'm like, with my own phone, like, okay, bang, bang, bang. All of a sudden, I come out with my Glock, and it was like, the Glock keeps up to me. And I'm like, holy... what? And it was just like bang, bang, bang. I was like, I haven't even upgraded this thing yet.
Okay.
Wow.
So I gotta admit, I made a whole video about me, the Glock.
Trigger people, yes, okay, Glock, Toku Marui, whatever.
This
is a preference. I'm just saying, I've had Toku Marui. I had the Toku Marui Mark 23 for years, and then I sold it because it was a collector's item, and I wanted to jump into the gas blowback rifle. So I sold my TM, my Mark 23. It was quiet. Freaking 6 inches of foam with the LED light with the LAN unit.
I actually have.
Like I sold it for $250, and this was like 8-10 years ago. I can't imagine. Hopefully, it's still out there in circulation playing. But I'm glad I did because that was what got me the LM4 I have now.
What I got to say about Toku Marui? Trigger warning. Whoever Toku Marui, y'all not gonna like me. Listen. I think Toku Marui is good for what it is. Too expensive for what you get.
Yeah. Okay.
Like. Now, I have a Toku Marui 5.7. I'm a big 5.7 fan. I'm a big Splinter Cell fan. I didn't pay for that. I traded it with my team member with my Desert Eagle. My Desert Eagle, nice, cool. I wasn't going to use that crap. I can't use it for shooter competitions. Too powerful, not accurate. And the kick...
It's an aesthetic thing. If you got a Desert Eagle, it looks great. That's it.
I got it just to be one of those guys on the field.
In real life, the Desert Eagle pistol in real life is to break down. Like, man, you rack that thing in real life. Like, I've shot a Desert Eagle in real life.
No.
That thing, just the rack alone, lets you know that a slab of metal just went full.
And the Desert
Eagle,
it's huge.
There's no way I'm pulling this out to
huge.
shoot somebody. Like, I'm shooting a cow or something.
Yeah, exactly. Big game. Like, man, if like, RoboCop walked through my door, he's getting shot with Desert Eagle.
Exactly. You know what's funny? In the original RoboCop, a little history about movies. Original RoboCop, he was meant originally to use a Desert Eagle. They changed it to the Auto 9 for more futuristic. Because think about it, you roll out a Desert Eagle.
passing the arm.
Yeah, like somebody pull out a gun, okay, yeah. But somebody pull out Desert Eagle, it's like, yo, bro, come on. Like, bro, like,
cannon, bro.
like, even if it's not loaded, I'm not taking that chance. And so
you hit him with it.
yeah, like this, like that's it, concussion. So I had my Desert Eagle, all metal. Shout out to Anthony because he don't sold it to me. Used it. Yo, the gun shoot's great. It makes your presence known. And then ricochet, pull it out. I shot it, and the dude was like, "Shit!" Like he heard it. You see the dude just run back. So I'm like, okay. So I traded for my 5. I traded for the 5.7. I know my whole loadout I'm doing now is all futuristic loadout. Like you see my SRU helmet and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, the 5.7 is futuristic and stuff. Plus I'm a big P90 fan. TM is good. Don't get me wrong. For what it is good.
They're amazing. I mean, they're one of the grandfathers of the sport.
Yeah, I would not pay for one because I feel like it's a lot of money and it's underpowered for the United States. If I was in Japan or overseas, it would have been perfect. I would not buy one. They're overpriced, especially the shotgun.
Well, the logistics behind it.
Yeah.
And people can get upset as much as they want. In the Japanese government, you're not allowed to use anything metal in the internals of airsoft rifles in Japan. So Tokyo Marui is amazing because they've had a lot of years to develop a system that doesn't use metal internals.
Exactly. And
however, here in the United States,
all about that.
my gas blowback rifle has a full CNC part. That's the hop up. That's a full slab of
metal,
of aluminum metal, and my internal barrel is a full aluminum internal barrel that sits suspended inside that hop up unit. That's metal. I couldn't do that in Japan.
No,
it would be rendered illegal.
Exactly, and it's just like, okay, we're a lot rougher with our stuff than Japan.
Oh my God, yes.
Like I'm way rougher. I broke a lot. I'm way rougher with my stuff.
Over there, they run courses in places that are made to run courses for airsoft. You see gravel on the ground.
Yeah.
It's completely fine-tuned. We're not saying that they don't do, rough and tough. But come on, man, we're in the States. We're known for rough and tough.
Yes.
We're known for rough and tough. We're known for just drop my LM4 mag. God damn it, the lip feed can break.
No.
I have like 4 or 5 extra lip feeds for my LM4 mags on me when I play. Why? Because if I feel the adrenaline and I just don't want to die and don't want to get shot, I'm gonna stay in it. I'm just gonna drop mag. Drop mag. The guy's like, dude, your mag. I don't care. $10. I don't care.
You know what's really funny? I hate to say this about Novich. Novich mags ain't as strong as Glock mags.
I drop my Glock mag so much, and I'm like, I'm okay, it's fine.
My SSP1, I did a video, SSP1 versus Combat Master.
That's good to know.
Yeah, so I did it. My boy Kuka has a Combat Master. He got John Wick Combat Master. I had SSP1, so we did head to head. Yo, I gotta admit that the Combat Master for what you get is awesome.
It's behind Terran Tactical.
Yeah, exactly. And then I like when close to real manufacturer actually make real guns. Mm-hmm. So when it gets SSP1, it was on par with it. The SSP1's upgraded and stuff. It had a little more stuff that SSP1 will come with stock. Me being called fumbles, I hit the wrong button, I dropped the mag, hits the floor, break the feed. Now, a couple months later, I'm in Rick Taylor's Hackbro shooting competition. I'm going head to head with Tristan, all these other egg airsofters. Pull out my Glock, do the same thing, drop it. Now, I dropped the mag on a wood floor on the SSP1 and it broke. Their floor is concrete.
Yes,
I dropped it, picked it up, not even a scratch. Yeah. Put it in, fed normally. Yeah, and I'm like, this is freaking ridiculous. Like,
if you don't drop it on the lip feed, you're good.
I dropped that like. I think it went face first down. Like I dropped it. I don't know how it didn't break, but it didn't break, and I was able to use it. I ended up selling it to my cousin, and my cousin ended up using it. And my cousin, so I got my cousin. We all got my cousin to Airsoft, and he went full on. Like he got the lightweight.
That's beautiful.
Now we went to Rick. We had the high velocity. He has this vest on that says SWAT and everything. He's my height, and people are like, "Oh, you're real SWAT," and he's like, dude, it's just why I wear my real SWAT stuff to play airsoft.
Yeah, you don't know. You never know, man.
It's like I said in my video. It's what reality and fantasy mean. It lets you all right. I don't understand why people shit on people who try to do like when you try to look like SEAL Team 6 guys. Okay, cool. Let them. Like, stop shitting on people who want to look it and feel it. They're trying to be immersed in a sport that lets them get immersion. So, like, quit being a dirtbag and shitting on someone who's trying to have fun.
So, back to our first episode, we had a whole conversation about people can live out the fantasy they want to be.
Yeah.
Now, for instance, he said there was somebody dressed like a Nazi. Now that's kind of a little much.
I've been to Europe, and I have seen people dressed as full-on German uniform without the insignias. Now, in the terms of like that stuff, well, that's where I think if you use the uniform, you don't use the insignia.
Well, he didn't
bad.
have the insignia.
So they're not bad.
But he had the outfit
That's
where
different.
if you played the old war games, you're like...
But that's the thing, like,
You know.
yeah, he's obviously playing Germany. But you
Yeah.
have to understand that, all right.
People do that. There's reenactments with that.
So here's the catch-22. We don't want to talk about it. We don't want to address it. However, if you don't do it, history will repeat itself.
Exactly.
It is without a doubt. Human beings are creatures of habit. What that means is history will tend to repeat itself if you don't address history.
Exactly. And
This is a great way to address it.
so that wasn't bad. But you could live out your fan. Like you want to show up as a Viking and show up as a Viking. Me personally, I want to show up as being a futuristic soldier. I got the freaking helmet. I paid $200 for the helmet, which my wife approved. She didn't approve the Glock though. I got in trouble for that.
I got a shield that's Spartacus. That was like $200. That's a ballistic shield. It'll stop a 9mm. Yeah, it'll stop a 9mm round. Like,
You didn't get
so I played in the event. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like, you're futuristic. I'm playing as what I call cultured gladiator. I got the gladiator mask, full-on metal, shield, and it's like you can do what
But
you want.
you want to live out, you're having fun. And I was like, okay. It was like, oh, it's not realistic. I'm not trying to be realistic. Because you think about it, if I shoot you with a gun and you're still alive, what realistic is that? I was like, I want to be a futuristic soldier. Next thing I'm going to do is probably buy the SRU helmet, which my wife don't know about because it's $20. Because that Glock I still getting beat up about. Because she didn't even know I brought the Glock, the story behind it. Like, she came home. And at the end of that video, it's actually real. I did not make that up. I knew at the end of the video, when she came home, actually happened.
Wow.
Like, I did another video while she was in the home. I was like, no, let me make a review video. I pulled the gun out. She didn't know I had a SIG X7. I ended up selling it because I can't use it. I couldn't use it for what I wanted to. It was just cool. So I went around the house in my apartment, trying to do a review.